into the discussion proper because of our time. And of course, we'll be looking at national development because if you listen to my introduction, I said some of the things about national development, and we'll be focusing on regional ministries. The last time I checked, you can discover that this development, everything we are clamoring from here, the regions have so many roles to play, and we're looking at that. What is actually expected and necessary? And as a matter of fact, I have an expert joining me right here. George P. Diri is joining me. He is a human angle expert, and he is also a professional. Well, it's good to have you join us on the program this morning.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Well, you came in very sharp and very smart, ready to just make the people understand how important is national development, taking into consideration the regional ministry.
Yes, thank you for having me once again. To answer your question, I will first of all want to use this opportunity to thank Mr. President, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for for signing the appropriation bill just some few days back. That being said, national development has to do with, when you talk about impacting the life of the people, when you talk about considering the welfare and the well-being of the people. But that has not been the reflection of what we in the Niger Delta region have been plagued with ever since the emergence of the regional minister, Honorable Abubakar Mamo. You understand? So we are calling his attention to the people of the Niger Delta region that our people are not well taken care of. Because I speak not for myself, I'm representing ex-agitators and also concerned youth from that region. So I'm also using this opportunity to crave the indulgence of the minister to not just, before his emergence into that ministry, when they call people for empowerment, we know what the benefits. But as it stands now, with his lopsided approach towards empowering the people, centering everything to his people, because he's from Edo State. So, and the Niger Delta is comprises of 9 states. We have Akwa Ibom down to Ondo. You understand? But we are calling for his removal. That is just the essence of.
Okay, let's get back to the youth now. Let's talk about the youth now. Nigeria as a whole. Let's look at the role of Nigerians. All right, the role of youth in Nigeria as a nation. Looking at what Nigeria is facing right now, what role do you think youths can play? Because a lot of agitations from everywhere. There was a time we even had that there was an agitation in the West for the Yoruba nation, the Igbo thing, and all of that. Let's talk about what do you think? Because there's been this clamor that if you want to give us a minister that is a youth that understands us. If you want to, there's been this agitation. But then, how can Nigerians work together, all right, to achieve development as a nation, not just the region now? Because Nigeria needs to exist first before the region is even there.
Yes, thank you for that question. And that is why we are using this opportunity. I'm presently using this opportunity to call on Mr. President to give us a minister that will reflect the assumption of the youth. Because there's a saying that goes to us that the wealth of a nation lies in the skill of its youth. If the youth is empowered, if the youth is given the right environment and the right condition, it will reflect in the well-being of the nation. That is why we are using this opportunity to call on Mr. President to center his appointment on the youth, to put people that we can easily relate with, to put people that can reflect our body, not people who do not have what it takes to reflect what the youth stands for or what the youth represents. You understand? So talking about, because I'm speaking primarily for, like I said, against what the regional minister is doing.
Okay, I know you can only comment. You know, sometimes there is a dissatisfaction from different quarters, and there is this belief that if things are not going the way of certain people, there seems to be agitation. And one of the things that the federal government doesn't want is agitations, because we have a lot of insecurity in the country, we have a lot going on, and if you look at it very well, people who perpetrate these things are mostly youths, even though we hear there are sponsors, insecurity, and all of that. Now, let's get into the fact that there is this belief that the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. Now, we're talking about national development now. What do you think? Because as it is right now, remember what the president did, some ministers were even removed.
Yes.
Some ministers were removed, and there was a time the president came up and said, okay, every minister is at liberty to go to the media houses and let the people know what they are doing. All right, now let's get to the youth now. What role do you think youth, because most of the agitations that we have come from the youth,
Yes.
what role do you think youth can play, all right, to contribute to the development of this country? Because we see, give the youth the position. If you want to give us a minister after our own hearts.
Yes.
All right, now what do you think is the function of youth, all right, that will make the president think, hey, wow, the youth in this region are doing well, this is what they are doing, this is what they are doing, I think we should listen to them. All right, the North Central, I've hosted the Director General of the North Central North Central Commission Initiative. They initiated it before the president actually passed it now. So what do you think the youth need to do? All right, because if you're a father, there are some things your children are doing and say, oh, my children are doing well. So you are speaking now, you're not just representing okay, you may be from the Niger Delta, but now you are of Nigeria, the youth of Nigeria right now, which is having the Niger Delta youths, the Benue, the South, the West, the Northwest, the Northeast youths inclusive. So what do you think youth should do?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, there are a number of things the youth are already doing.
That's right.
You understand? When you go to different states or different regions within Nigeria, you realize that most place is peaceful, because you cannot develop a region or a place or a state without peace. When you go to the Niger Delta region, where beforehand there were series of agitation with respect to resource control, when you go there, you see peace, not even relative peace, peace and tranquility as a result of the youth participating in sustainable development within that region. When you go to Southwest, you see the same thing, a reflection of the youth trying to ensure that they cohabitate with the norms and the laws within that space. So the youth are already doing a lot. There are so many things that I cannot rule out right now that the youth are already in it. You understand? So we are just calling Mr. President to ensure that the youth are also part of his administration, not just a tiny percentage. The youth are, when you say youth are the leaders of tomorrow, it does not reflect the situation of today. The youth are supposed to be the leaders of today. You understand? We are supposed to be the leaders of today, taking charge, be in the forefront to ensure that leadership is well dispensed, value is well dispensed, because Mr. President has ensured that he include a little chunk of the youth in his administration. We are thanking him for it, but we want more. We are like Oliver Twist. We don't like Oliver Twist. Yes, we remove the older ones and bring in youths. Yes, that's what you say. Yes, we want more. We want more. A reflection of the youth in his administration, so that we can, because we supported his government. A huge number of us supported his government, and we are still supporting him till now. And we are saying, Mr. President, we are thanking him for what he has done and all he has done and what he will do, but we are still calling him to ensure that going forward in further appointments, that he should put the youth into consideration. He should appoint more youths into his government, so that it will reflect, what the youth represents, what the youth stands for.
Okay, that's very important. We're talking about national development, and we're talking about the regions now. Okay, you're from Niger Delta. Let's talk about a little bit about Niger Delta now. The issue of insecurity in this country, there is this belief that the youth of a community, all right, know who is bad and who is good to an extent, and they can contribute to curbing this insecurity that is going on in some of the regions. All right, so as it is right now, my question is this: what do you think the federal government should do? Because some persons are saying, all right, for this nation to develop, for national development, for peace, like you talk about it, the youth should be inclusive, because an idle hand is the workshop of the devil. By the time you're not doing anything, everything goes. Now, let's look at it. On the part of the youth, sometimes you mustn't be in a position before you do certain things. The youth can come together like this and pick a leader and say this person is our leader. Then during elections, all right, you see these leaders playing roles, you see these youths playing roles. But then, if you ask a politician now, they will tell you that the youths are the ones that some politicians, not all, use during elections in terms of rigging, in terms of snatching ballot boxes. All right. Now, once as an outstanding youth now, because now we are looking at you as a youth who is different, who wants Nigeria to grow, who wants the right ministers, the right senators, the right House of Rep members to be there, not just people who are eager to come into governance, but people that can work with the youth so that they can push the nation forward. What can we say to people who indulge in violence during elections, snatching of ballot boxes? These people are being used by some politicians, and at the end of the day, some of them lose their lives, some of them lose properties, and some of them even go to jail, and the politicians may even deny them. So what's your message to every youth in Nigeria as it has to do with contributing to nation building and shunning electoral violence?
Yeah, there's a saying that goes to us that an idle hand or an idle life is the devil's workshop. You understand? So I'm using this opportunity to call on all youths that have been perpetuating in that nefarious act before now, that you should desist from it. Make your life useful. There are so many things you can engage in. You can go into so many things. You must not necessarily be educated or go to school, so to speak, because education itself is not necessarily when you go to school. You can educate yourself in various aspects of life, because education itself is the enlightenment of the mind for future productivity. So you can make yourself productive by engaging in, you can engage in skill, you can go into farming, you can go into technology, you can go into so many things, not to make yourself a tool for politicians to use. Like you said, at the end of the day, they will definitely deny you. They will deny you. They will act as if they don't even know you after you have been used to perpetuate that act of ballot boxing and all those other things that you made mention of. So I'm calling them that let's come together so that we can make this nation great. Because I believe in this country, we can make this nation great. Like I said, the wealth of this nation lies in the skill of the youth. You understand? If we can maximize what we have in terms of human capital resource, this nation will get to its destination.
All right. Thank you. If I am the governor of your state, I will give you, I'll make you the youth leader because you've spoken well. Thank you very, very much. Time is not on our side right now. Time is up. Okay. Sometimes 30 minutes is just like 2 minutes when you are making sense. Time is already up right now, and a very big thank you for coming on the program this beautiful morning, Judge Prele Diri. He is actually from the Niger Delta region and a youth pushing for national development and youth inclusiveness in governance. This is a good agitation anyway. This is a good agitation. It's better to try the youth. You remember what's happening. Somebody made a statement when Natasha and Akpabio's issue, somebody reacted to it, and the person said, well, they say they want female in governance. Just the few of them that they have at the National Assembly are not given a voice, and someone was faulting the statement that Kingibe made and all of that. So it's so good that the women are speaking for themselves and the youth are also speaking. So by the time we have a mix of both the men and we have the youth, but I'm wondering, how would it really look like if we have a mix of youths, women, then also have let's say what's it called, the people, the politicians that we have now, with a mix of youth, where let's say we have everything 50, everything across board. How do you think Nigeria will be? There's some people will want to service their youthful lust.
Yes.
Their youthful lust. I don't get money now, I don't need big boy now to go club. Youths, how they behave. So how can we really balance it? Because we need to look at the both sides of the coin. In your own eye now, if you have good quantity and quality youths, okay, in governance, and we have quantity and quality women, okay, in politics, and we have it mixed up with these politicians, how would it really look like? How is it going to be?
It will look great. We will not be having the fiasco that we are experiencing now. It will reflect the vision of the nation. You understand? It will look great. That's just what I have to say.
It will look great according to Judge Prele Diri. National development is what we have talked about this beautiful morning, and of course our focus is the regional ministry. He is saying we need a change. Any minister that is not performing, I think the same thing that the president said is not far from what Judge Prele Diri is saying. Any minister that is not performing, if it is from the North Central region, from the Niger Delta region, from the Northeast, anywhere, that person should be changed and another person should come up. I think that is a good saying, and that will make every minister sit up and begin to work. So if you have not been working, work now before the president will change his mind, because agitations are already coming. People are already voicing out, because sometimes you may not even know how far you are doing, except somebody outside assess you and tell you this is what you're doing wrong and this is what you're not doing wrong. So any minister that's not performing, let them know what they are not doing well. Anyone that needs to be recalled, that person should be recalled, because we are all working towards national development. Once again, thank you for coming around, Judge. All right, this is going to be the size of global law in this beautiful weekend. As you go about your normal business, know that tomorrow is the first working day of the week. You're going to hit the road, going back to the office again. If you have any job done or preparations that you need to do for tomorrow, ministers, House of Rep members, senators, everyone in governance, put your house in order so that at least the people can clap for you when you come around the region, when you come around Northwest, South, Niger Delta, wherever your region is, all the people that you are representing. Thank you. Have a beautiful day. My name is Ramsey Enoch. Bye-bye for now. We'll see you again.